The first round of matches is finally behind us. 48 nations have stepped onto the biggest stage in football. Months of predictions, debates, and endless analysis have given way to something far more valuable: actual evidence. And after one round, the picture is somehow less clear than ever. Some favorites looked vulnerable. Some underdogs looked fearless. A few teams exceeded expectations. Others raised concerns they didn't have a month ago. The truth is, after the opening matches, nobody has fully revealed themselves yet. But the clues are there. The first round didn't answer the biggest questions of this tournament. It created them. And if history has taught us anything, it's that early struggles don't necessarily mean disaster. Argentina lost their opening game in 2022 and still became world champions. Spain stumbled at the beginning of their 2010 campaign before lifting the trophy. World Cups are rarely won in the first week, but they can absolutely be lost there. So today, we're looking at the 11 biggest questions emerging from the opening round. Questions that could determine who lifts the trophy and who goes home wondering what went wrong. Let's start with a team that suddenly looks very different. For years, England fans have watched the same movie. England scores. England retreats. England protects the lead. And suddenly a game they were controlling becomes far more complicated than it should be. That pattern seemed deeply ingrained. But against Croatia, something changed. After taking control of the match, England didn't sit back. They kept attacking. They kept taking risks. And most importantly, they looked like a team playing to win rather than a team playing not to lose. The second half performance was particularly impressive. The attack became more fluid. The movement became more aggressive. The confidence was obvious. For long stretches, England looked like a genuine contender. But here's the real test. It's easy to be brave in the group stage. It's much harder when one mistake sends you home. Can England maintain this mentality when the pressure reaches its highest point? That's the question. Because if they can, they belong among the tournament's favorites. Few teams made a stronger first impression than the United States. Their victory over Paraguay wasn't just convincing. It was controlled, energetic, and tactically coherent. For a team that has faced significant criticism in recent years, it felt like a statement performance. The midfield played aggressively. The pressing was relentless. The movement off the ball constantly created problems. Everything seemed to work. But football has a way of exposing weaknesses once the competition level rises. The American midfield thrives on intensity. It thrives on winning duels and forcing mistakes. The question is whether it can maintain that effectiveness against elite opposition. Because the better teams won't panic under pressure. They'll play through it. And when that happens, the spaces left behind become dangerous. The United States passed its first test. The harder ones are still coming. Quick question for you right now. After the first round, which team has impressed you the most? England? The United States? France? An African underdog? Let me know in the comments before we continue. No team faces a more delicate situation than Portugal. And no player attracts more attention than Cristiano Ronaldo. The debate isn't really about his legacy anymore. That conversation ended years ago. The real question is much simpler. What gives Portugal the best chance of winning matches right now? Portugal possess one of the most talented midfields in the competition. Creativity isn't the problem. Technical quality isn't the problem. The issue is turning that quality into a fluid attack. At times, Portugal's entire structure appears designed around finding Ronaldo. When it works, nobody complains. When it doesn't, the entire attack can look predictable. That leaves Roberto Martinez facing one of the toughest decisions of the tournament. Stay loyal to one of football's greatest legends, or prioritize tactical flexibility. Neither option comes without consequences. Every major tournament seems to begin the same way. Someone labels Turkey a dark horse. Expectations rise. Excitement grows. And then things become complicated. After their opening defeat, familiar concerns have returned. The talent is undeniable. The squad contains players capable of changing games in an instant. But talent alone rarely wins tournaments. The The best teams combine creativity with structure. And that's where questions remain. Turkey generated opportunities, but struggled to create consistently dangerous situations. Too many attacks ended with hopeful attempts rather than clear openings. If they want to survive this group, they'll need solutions quickly. Because potential only matters when it turns into results. Every World Cup creates a new superstar. A player known by football fans suddenly becomes known by everyone. We've seen it happen before. And after one round, there may already be a leading candidate. The young Ivorian attacker announced himself in spectacular fashion. Fearless, direct, explosive. Every time he touched the ball, something happened. What makes young stars dangerous at World Cups isn't just talent. It's unpredictability. Opponents don't fully understand them yet. Defenders don't know what to expect. And confidence grows with every performance. One great game creates attention. 2 great games create belief. 3 great games create a star. The next match could be enormous. Some coaches have trophies. Some coaches have reputations. Very few have both. Hervé Renard belongs in that category. His career is filled with unlikely achievements and unexpected success stories. Now he finds himself in yet another unusual situation. Taking over a team during a World Cup is one of the most difficult jobs imaginable. There's almost no preparation time, no proper training cycle, no opportunity to build long-term chemistry. And yet if anyone can thrive in chaos, it's Renard. His teams have a habit of surprising people. Whether that magic still exists may determine Tunisia's fate. France may have produced the strangest performance of the opening round, because they looked like 2 completely different teams in the same match. One version looked disorganized, disconnected, frustrating. The other looked like a future champion. The transformation was remarkable. Once tactical adjustments were made, the attack suddenly came alive. Passing combinations appeared. Chances followed. And the immense quality within the squad became obvious again. That's what makes France so dangerous. Their ceiling might be higher than anyone else's. But they also showed that talent alone isn't enough. Organization still matters. And against stronger opponents, slow starts become far more costly. Spain controlled possession. Spain controlled territory. Spain controlled the tempo. Yet they still couldn't find a breakthrough. That's because domination means very little without penetration. And that's where Spain's biggest concern appears. Their most dangerous attacking players aren't fully fit. When healthy, these are the players capable of creating something from nothing. The players who turn a balanced game into a winning one. Without them, Spain can look elegant but predictable. Beautiful football only matters if it leads somewhere. Spain will hope their stars return to full fitness quickly, because knockout football doesn't wait. For decades, Brazil's football identity felt obvious. Even when styles changed, the essence remained recognizable. This team feels different. After one match, it's surprisingly difficult to define them. Are they a possession-based side? A counterattacking team? A pressing machine? The answer isn't entirely clear. There are world-class players throughout the squad. There is more than enough talent. But talent and identity are not the same thing. The opening performance suggested a team still searching for its best version. The concern isn't ability. The concern is clarity. World Cups move quickly, and teams that spend too long searching for themselves often run out of time. Perhaps the most exciting story of the first round came from Africa. Again and again, African teams exceeded expectations. Some earned impressive results. Others pushed heavily favored opponents to their limits. What stood out wasn't individual brilliance. It was collective confidence. These teams looked organized, prepared, fearless. The gap between traditional powers and emerging nations appears smaller than ever. And if that trend continues, the knockout stage could become extremely uncomfortable for some famous football nations. Many fans expected surprises. Few expected this many. At some point, football runs out of ways to describe Lionel Messi. The records keep coming. The milestones keep falling. The performances keep arriving. And somehow, Even at this stage of his career, he remains capable of deciding games almost single-handedly. That's what makes Argentina so fascinating. They aren't perfect. They have weaknesses. They have vulnerabilities. But they also have Messi. And sometimes that's enough. Because unlike most players, he doesn't need an entire match to change everything. He only needs a moment. One touch, one pass, one shot, one glimpse of space. And suddenly, a match belongs to Argentina. The older he gets, the more remarkable it becomes. And the most dangerous part? He's showing no signs of slowing down. After one round, the World Cup feels wide open. England look refreshed. The United States look ambitious. Portugal face difficult decisions. France remain unpredictable. Spain need their stars. Brazil are still searching for an identity. African nations are making statements. And Messi continues to ignore the passage of time. The best part? Almost none of these questions have answers yet. That's what makes the next round so important. This is the stage where contenders separate themselves from pretenders, where pressure begins to grow, where narratives begin to change, and where World Cups often become unforgettable. So now I want to hear from you. Which storyline are you watching most closely? Is it Ronaldo and Portugal? England's transformation? The rise of African teams? Or one final Messi masterpiece? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel more than most people realize. And subscribe for in-depth World Cup analysis, predictions, and stories throughout the tournament. Because the opening chapter is over, and the real drama is only just beginning.